Hello, wanderer. Before the words arrive, let your shoulders soften. In through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Out through the mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, notice how your chest rises like a quiet tide and falls like a small, familiar moon. Tonight we are not chasing facts, we are listening for a rhythm. Astronomers map orbits, weigh halos, trace streams and clusters. But there is another way to meet a galaxy with breath. When you inhale, space seems to widen. When you exhale, the room settles. Between those two motions, an entire spiral world could fit. Stars gathering stars, returning light, sliding through dust, the way dusk slips through curtains. Picture the Milky Way not as a postcard you hold at arm's length, but as whether a moving sea of starlight with warm currents and cold rivers, storms of radiation and long, patient winds. On nights when the sky is clear, you can see a narrow brushstroke of it. Most of it is hidden by distance, by dust, by limits of our eyes, but its presence hums through everything you are. The iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, the calcium in your quiet bones, all of them learned to exist in furnaces older than memory. You are not separate from the spiral. You are a note inside its long song. Breathe in 4 counts gentle. Hold 2 counts, softer still. Breathe out 6 counts like releasing a small weight you didn't know you carried. If you could float far above the disk, you'd see that order is only half the story. The spiral arms look certain from a distance, but up close, they ripple like music patterns moving through the crowd. Gas gathers the way thoughts gather before sleep, loose at first, then denser, then suddenly bright. In another corner, old stars drift on orbits, tilted and stretched like elders walking home by paths no one remembers. A bar of light crosses the center like a slow heartbeat. Above and below, a pale halo keeps history faint, patient, full of clues. None of this asks you to stay awake. It only asks you to keep that tide of breath. In. Count 4. Out. Count 6. With each exhale, let the day fade. Let screens dissolve into dark water. Let voices become shoreline noise, present, distant, harmless. Your body knows how to rest. It has practiced for years. All we're doing is stepping out of its way. Somewhere far beyond your roof, a newborn star is taking its first steady breath of fusion. Somewhere else, a tired giant is exhaling its last, scattering what it learned into the night so others can begin. Between those two moments, a galaxy breathes, taking in cold streams of matter, releasing heat and light, cycling what is old into what is next. The motion is huge. The feeling is simple. If thoughts arrive, let them. Thoughts are just birds crossing a wide river. The river keeps moving. So do you. In a few minutes, we'll visit a place where clouds are not weather, but cradle dark, quiet rooms, where gravity hums and dust remembers water. We'll touch the edges of invisible fields that guide sparks and grains the way a hand guides thread. We'll drift along shy ribbons of stars, the long trails left by smaller companions who wandered too close and spilled their secrets into our sky. None of this will be a test. It will be a lullaby, true enough to trust, soft enough to sleep through. For now, rest right where you are. Notice the weight of the blanket, the coolness of air on the tip of your nose, the warmth behind your eyes. How the floor holds you without asking anything back. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. If you are starting to drift, That is perfect. Let the words blur at the edges like stars at the edge of vision. If you're still awake, we'll begin our first gentle step together. The galaxies inhale the quiet arrival of cold, blue-black gas from the deep web between galaxies, fresh material slipping into the disk, the way night slips into a city after rain. It comes slowly. It brings possibility. It asks for nothing but time. When you're ready, let the next breath carry you there. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Imagine the Milky Way not as an island but as a harbor, and beyond its lights, the ocean continues, vast, dark, threaded with long, glassy currents. Astronomers call those threads filaments, immense rivers of thin, cold gas stretching between galaxies. They don't roar, they whisper. They do not arrive as waves that crash, but as tides that keep their promises. Out there, atoms spend ages traveling in quiet company. Hydrogen, helium, and a trace of heavier elements flow along invisible scaffolding gravity's patient architecture. As these cold streams drift toward our home, they pass through a pale, warm halo, a soft spherical shawl of gas and memory that wraps the galaxy. Most of that halo is too hot to hold. But here and there, shaded pockets, sheltered eddies, the heat loosens its grip, and cold filaments slide inward like cool night air through an open window. Inhale. 4. Exhale. 6. You don't have to picture all the details. Just feel the direction toward. The galaxy breathes in material the way a forest breathes in mist, without effort, without sound. Where the streams brush the halo, they pick up pieces of story metals tossed into space by old supernovae dust motes, polished by starlight. The new meets the used, and both become possible together. Closer in the disk appears a slow-turning meadow of gas and stars lanes, dark with dust lanes, bright with newborn light. The cold streams arrive not as straight lines, but as veils that fold and drape, settling into rotation, learning the local rhythm. Some become faint clouds, then thicker ones, then molecular gas that prefers the company of itself, cooling enough to huddle and hum. Gravity, gentle but persistent, strokes the cloud like a hand smoothing a sheet. In the quietest corners, it lowers the thread count of chaos until structure forms knots, beads, seeds. Pause. Let your shoulders fall an inch. Let the jaw soften. The tongue rests on the floor of the mouth. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. We think of creation as loud. Here, creation is a hush. The word accretion simply means gathering, and that is all this is: a gathering of coolness, a gathering of patience. The cloud doesn't hurry, it listens to pressure and time. Magnetic fields thin as spider silk guide and restrain, keeping collapse from rushing, allowing collapse to ripen. Small ripples travel through the gas like the slowest music spiral patterns in the disk, shepherding material into lanes where it can rest long enough to change. If you're drifting, let yourself drift. If you're awake, notice the small details of your own halo. The faint circle of warmth around your body, the weight of the blanket, the way your breath, cool on the inhale, warm on the exhale, cycles a private weather across your lips. You are practicing the same art as galaxies, balancing inflow and release, receiving and letting go. Far above the plane, some inflow never reaches the disk, but it matters anyway. It kisses the halo, shares metals and motion, and turns back. That conversation between what arrives and what remains sets the stage for everything that will be born. Closer in, where the streams finally settle, you can almost hear a soft ticking density, climbing temperature, sliding molecules, locking hands. A threshold approaches, and with it, a promise stars. Not yet. First, one more breath. In, 2, 3, 4 cool, air-cool thoughts. Hold. 1, 2 like a snowflake that refuses to fall. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 night descending on a quiet field. On the scale of your life, nothing is happening. On the scale of the galaxy, everything is. The incoming gas repairs what star winds and supernovae have thinned. It refreshes the pantry. It writes new lines in the ledger of what can be made, new suns, new worlds, new places, for oceans to learn the word blue. Inflows do not ask for praise. They are the invisible half of every dawn. When the cloud is ready, when gravity's lullaby has softened, the last resistance cores will kindle. We'll go there next. We'll stand inside a nursery dark as velvet and feel the first warm breath of fusion touch our skin like morning. For now, remain with the motion that asks nothing of you. Toward. Rest toward quiet, toward the center that holds. Breathe in 4, breathe out 6. Let the galaxy keep its inhale a little longer. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every inhale invites a matching release. Inside the dark nurseries where clouds have ripened, the first small suns open their eyes. They do not speak, but they exhale not with lungs, but with light and wind. Photons spill across dust like dawn across a lake. Streams of charged particles push outward, combing the cloud, parting it into filaments and shells. The quiet room begins to move. You can picture a candle in a still house. It warms. The air sends it upward, carves a slim corridor of motion. A newborn clusters many candles at once. Their radiation scoops hollows. Their winds sweep lanes, and the gas, once heavy with waiting, learns to lift. Where several young giants share a neighborhood, their breaths overlap into broad, bright rooms we call bubbles. Along the bubble's edge, dust glows like embers. In the center, pressure builds a steady tide. In 4, out 6. Some stars are gentle flutes, others are brass, loud, bright, short-lived. The massive ones live quickly, spend generously, and end as thunder. Long before that finale, their winds have already carved chimneys, vertical shafts through the disk where hot gas can escape. Think of them as skylights for heat channels that carry the day's warm sigh into the high, pale halo. The flow is not anger, it's balance. A galaxy cannot only gather, it must let go. As bubbles merge, the shell between them thins and shivers. A single giant can push a front for dozens of light years. A crowd of giants can lift ceilings. When one of them reaches the end and falls inward, the collapse rebounds as a supernova, a brief, beautiful violence that writes metals into space. Calcium for bones, iron for blood, oxygen for breath. Those gifts ride the shock front like seeds on wind. The nursery loses some of its mass. The ledger of possibility gains new lines. Pause here. Soften the eyes. Notice the temperature of your breath, cool and warm out. You are your own small weather, practicing the same exchange, taking in what you need, returning what you do not, and warming the air just enough to be kind. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. In the disc, these exhalations draw simple shapes, arcs, loops, commas. On larger scales, they stitch a paragraph, lacework cavities, and chimneys rising like the ribs of an old cathedral. Through those ribs, hot gas streams upward, thins, and finally mixes with the halo. Some of it will cool and rain back down in a slower season, replenishing the pantry. Some will keep drifting, carrying away memory. Either path is part of the breath. If you're drifting towards sleep, that's perfect. Let the edges blur. If you're still with me, consider the tender paradox of wind it destroys and reveals. It tears open clouds, but in doing so, clears sightlines. Behind a dissolving veil, the cluster gleams young blue, slightly unruly. Planets begin to inherit the leftovers, sweeping rings and lanes of dust into weathered shapes. Somewhere, a small stone learns the word home. Out beyond the bright rooms, the chimneys keep climbing. Their walls are not brick, but gradients, temperature, density, magnetic threads. Sound here has a different map. Waves travel through plasma like soft mallets, striking a drum the size of a city. You don't need to hear it. It's enough to know the music is there. Each flow relieves the disk of pressure, prevents chaos from running hot, and leaves the garden in a state where the next seeds can take. Exhale is not an apology. It is permission. Permission for light to leave its source and find a face. Permission for heat to choose a higher room. Permission for a galaxy to be porous to touch its surroundings and be touched back. Breathe in 4. Breathe out 6. In time, the young giants step out. Their lives are brief, their legacy is long. They chisel the local matter into arcs and pillars, sketching paths for future inflow to follow. They enrich the medium with heavy elements, turning a simple broth into a nourishing stew. And then they make way. After the thunder, the room is quieter, warmer, wiser. Somewhere in that hush, smaller suns like ours settle into patience, and disks around them clear lanes for planets to practice being round. Let your shoulders drop. Let the floor have the last of your weight. Let the day exit through quiet chimneys you didn't know your body had. We'll keep the breath slow and honest. On the next step, we'll return to the hush, back into a cloud where gravity hums and molecules hold hands. We'll watch as the first spark catches and stays, as a core becomes a star, not in story, but in temperature and time. For now, there is only the rhythm. In 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The galaxy has exhaled. The night receives it gently. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We return to the hush. Inside the disk, far from the bright plazas carved by star winds, there are districts the light rarely enters. Astronomers call them giant molecular clouds, slow continents of cold gas and dust, heavy with possibility. If the galaxy were a lung, these are the deep alveoli where exchange becomes intimate. Temperatures fall toward 10-20 degrees above absolute zero, cold enough for atoms to favor company over speed. Hydrogen pairs off into H2. Carbon and oxygen weave CO, a faint lantern we can trace across the dark. You do not need equations. Feel the mood instead density rising, as if snow kept choosing the same corner of a field. Gravity patient as ever gathers the drift into clumps. Magnetic fields stretch like invisible loom threads, resisting a sudden collapse, insisting on order in the falling. Turbulence, those eddies and swirls in the cloud, has quiet places between its nodes. In those rests, structure forms. In 4. Out 6. The cloud is not a monolith, it is a city. Lanes braid, sheets fold, filaments cross. Where they intersect, the pressure rises the way winds converge at the corner of a building. Nodes appear. Within a node, a softer rumor core. The core is only a few light years across, and yet it holds more mass than many suns. Its edges blur into the parent cloud like a sigh into a larger breath. Around it, dust grains earn thin coats of ice water, methanol, ammonia, minute by minute, millennia by millennia. Chemistry rehearses, memory thickens. Pause the day here. Let your eyelids grow heavy. Notice the texture of your quiet, the fur of the blanket, the slow pulse in your fingertips, the small creak of a wooden joint somewhere in the room. The universe loves details this small. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. As the core grows, it leaks heat poorly. Every radiated photon must thread a maze of dust to escape. Trapped warmth means rising temperature, and rising temperature sharpens the argument between pressure and gravity. For a while, pressure speaks loud enough to stall the fall. But the core keeps feeding from its filaments, keeps inhaling from the parent cloud. Slowly, the balance tips. The collapse becomes runaway, not fast, but decided. Like a story that has finally chosen its ending. In the very center, the gas can no longer carry away its heat quickly. A small opaque heart forms the first hydrostatic core. It is fragile, brief, a prelude. Material spirals down through a newborn envelope and piles onto this heart, and the heart warms. When it becomes hot and tight enough, molecular hydrogen begins to split and then recombine, absorbing and then releasing energy, softening and then stiffening the fall. The second core arrives denser, more committed. Accretion builds it grain by grain, ring by ring. Around the infant, rotation refuses to vanish. Angular momentum, saved like a promise, spreads the infalling gas into a thin disk. In that disk, lines appear, lanes where dust gathers, frost lines where different ices can survive. The lights are still low, the room still quiet, but the blueprint of future planets is already penciled into the dim. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now listen for the molecular hum. It isn't a sound you hear, it's a map you could feel if your skin were radio sensitive. Different molecules sing at different pitches, CO, NH3, HCN, each tracing a contour of density and temperature. Astronomers tune their instruments to those pitches and find not chaos, but choreography. Filaments feed cores like rivers feeding a lake. The lake thickens into a star. In your body, something similar is happening. Your breath finds the same lanes every time. Your heartbeat keeps the same architecture of intervals. You are an instrument. The night knows how to play. A few bright sparks remain to be struck. As material rains down the last few steps, shocks ripple through the inner disk and envelope, lighting thin arcs of warmth. The infant object begins to shine not by fusion, yet, but by accretion, by the kinetic heat of falling becoming light. Jets may soon switch on thin opposed lances, that will clear the axis and carry away excess spin. But we are not there yet. We are in the moment just before the match, when the room smells like cedar and silence. If drowsiness is tugging at you, yield. If you need another minute awake, take it. Either way, the core will keep folding itself into a promise. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. What we call creation is mostly patience. A galaxy inhales not in headlines but in rooms like this, cold, slow, private. The future is written here in densities, in quiet gradients, in the way a filament refuses to stop feeding the thing it loves into being. When the central temperature climbs high enough, when quantum barriers thin and the first reliable fusions begin, the light will change its character. The star will own its glow. We will step across that threshold next the soft click, where gravity's long persuasion becomes steady fire, and a black cradle brightens from within. For now, rest in the inhale that is almost over. Let the room be dark. Let the molecules keep their vow. In 4, out 6. If you're already drifting, you can let this part wash over you like rain on a window. If you're still here with me, we'll take a short, gentle pause, just enough to loosen the last knots of the day. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tonight your breath is a shoreline. The tide comes in, the tide goes out, and everything between those motions is allowed. Let's start with the crown of your head. Imagine a warm, weightless hand smoothing the scalp, quieting the tiny muscles there. Forehead softens, brows release, eyes rest heavy in their nests, like small moons settling into eclipse. Cheeks unbrace, tongue drops to the floor of the mouth, jaw unclenches and hangs easy on its hinges. In 4, out 6, let that same weightless hand move to the back of your neck, vertebra by vertebra, C1 to C7. Imagine space opening like curtains parting for evening air. Across the shoulders, let the muscles lengthen the way shadows lengthen at dusk. Shoulders fall an inch, then another half inch. Arms grow quiet from biceps to elbows to wrists, palms turn warm. Fingers forget their names one by one. And that's perfect. Breathing stays slow, unforced, cool and warm. Out your private weather. Notice your chest. There's a room here that knows how to be kind. With every inhale, the walls of that room expand just enough to welcome you. With every exhale, they close just enough to keep you safe. Let attention drift down to the ribs, 24 soft gates opening and closing in time. To the diaphragm, your silent bellows rising and settling without effort. To the heart, unhurried, reliable, keeping a rhythm older than language. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the spine. A gentle river running from between the shoulder blades all the way to the small of the back. If there's a point of heat or ache, imagine it as a cluster of pebbles in shallow water. The river is patient. It rounds every edge. Hips sink with a small sigh. Thighs release. Knees ungrip. Calves soften like ropes laid down on the dock after a long day. Ankles go loose. Feet spread and grow pleasantly heavy. 10 toes dim like a string of lights one by one, until only a soft afterglow remains. If thoughts appear, Let them by. Thoughts are birds. Your job is not to catch them, it's to give them sky. We'll do a simple count, like stepping stones across a shallow stream. With each number, breathe out a little farther into rest. 10. Long exhale like mist leaving a meadow. 9. Shoulders melt. 8. Jaw soft. 7. Back warm. 6. Belly easy. 5. Legs heavy. 4. Hands quiet. 3. Face serene. 2. Room safe. 1. The word enough whispered to every muscle. Your body knows what to do from here. You can sleep now if that's what it wants. If you remain awake, we'll keep the edge of awareness thin and kind, like a shoreline fog that lets the lighthouse work without waking the town. Inhale cool 4 counts. Hold 2, just a pause at the top. Exhale warm 6 counts, like laying a blanket over the day. You are not required to hold anything tonight. Not the list, not the headline, not the conversation you wish had gone differently. Let them all belong to the far side of the door. Inside this room, there is only breath and the quiet rumor of stars. Picture a single small lantern in a dark nursery cloud. No flame, just a patient glow, made from falling becoming warmth. That is you right now, a soft center gathering the calm you need. Around you, the galaxies inhale continuous filaments feeding cores cold, becoming possible. Nothing demands your attention. Everything is taking care of itself. We'll remain here for 3 slow breaths. First breath, welcome. Second breath, release. Third breath, remain. If you slide under the surface before I finish, let the rest of the words keep watch at the door. If you're still afloat, we'll move on as gently as a boat, leaving no wake toward the moment when the core's persuasion becomes fire, when a star learns to keep its own light. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sleep if you wish. Listen if you like. Either way, you're carried. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Galaxies, remember? They don't keep diaries. They keep orbits. If you could step into the Milky Way's quiet attic, you'd find old travel trunks stacked in a halo around the disk. Tenuous faint, full of letters, written in the handwriting of stars. Astronomers call them stellar streams, pale ribbons curving through space, each one a remnant of something that wandered too close, a dwarf galaxy, a cluster stretched thin by tides, and left like silk snagged on a thorn. The disk hums with the present. The halo whispers the before. In 4. Out. 6. Once small companions circled us in patient ellipses. Their stars were loyal, their dark matter generous, their gas clouds timid but hopeful. Time and gravity crafty historians pull them longer with each pass. Picture a loaf of dough being rolled into a band. The center sticks, the edges stretch. Eventually, the loaf isn't a loaf, it's a ribbon. What remains is a track of shared motion stars with similar chemistry and speed, telling the same origin story in 100 twinkling voices. These are the scars of our growth, and scars are not failures. They're footprints across a field we survived. The streams thread above and below the plain, obeying their own tilts, their own tempos. Some wrap around us nearly once, some many times, like the ghost of a ring. Each passes through regions where the galaxy's pull tightens, then slackens. In those stretches, the stars are nudged tiny course corrections that added over eons compose a paragraph you can read with patient instruments. Even the dark matter joins the chorus, its invisible weight shapes the arcs announcing itself by the way stars bend around what nobody sees. Let your jaw go soft, let your eyes warm behind their lids. Listen to how your body remembers posture and breath, the way a stream remembers a parent. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. Chemistry is another archive. The oldest halo stars carry low metals, the sparse alphabet of early times. Others are richer, salted by supernovae that happened elsewhere before the merger. When you chart those abundances against motion families, appear stars that are cousins, not neighbors, siblings, not strangers. A galaxy is less a single city than a federation stitched from towns that arrived with their own recipes and festivals, then learned the house style. From the disk, you rarely notice this ancestry. Daily life is spiral arms and dust lanes, bright nurseries and warm chimneys. But from the attic, the pattern is obvious. We are a palimpsest, a manuscript written over many times earlier ink, still faintly legible beneath the new. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes memory descends into the present. A stream crosses the outskirts of the disk like a shy commuter train. Where it passes, it tugs so lightly you'd miss it if you blinked for 100 million years. Those tugs ripple through gas and stars, spawning ripples and warps, as if someone touched the surface of a long, dark pond, and rings kept traveling. We often think of the galaxy as static art. It is closer to slow music, and streams are passing, motifs, returning in another key. There is kindness in this history. The mergers that left these trails were not only harvests, they were gifts. They brought fresh gas to keep the star factories, employed heavy elements to flavor future worlds, and orbits to diversify the dance. Even the emptiness between streamers matters. It marks where material spread out and settled into a broader, calmer halo room for chimneys to breathe, for inflows to gather without crowding. Pause. Feel your own halo, the aura of warmth around your body, softer at the edges. Memory lives there too, in muscles that remember how to release in breath, that remembers the door to sleep. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. If you could hold a single stream in your hands, it would feel like a rope made of time, each strand a star, each twist a shared passage through a turning sky. Follow it, and you'd walk backward into the night. Your home was still learning to be your home. Let go, and it would continue on without you, unbothered, certain. Streams don't ask to be witnessed, they ask only to keep moving. When dawns first began in the Milky Way, there were fewer metals to paint, with fewer options for worlds to try. As the galaxy exhaled through winds and inhaled through filaments, and as visitors wove themselves into our halo, our palette deepened. Calcium, iron, oxygen, carbon, the vocabulary expanded, until one evening somewhere a sea could whisper its first word. Perhaps that's why these scars feel tender. Rather than tragic, they are the memory of a language being learned. If sleep has you by the sleeve, let it. If you're still awake, float with one more ribbon a moment longer. Watch it. Arc across the dark, thin and luminous, a sentence too long to read in a single glance. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The attic door closes softly. below the nursery close. The next breath will take us back to the instant when a core's long persuasion becomes a steady living dawn. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some endings arrive like a bell underwater, soft, round, inevitable. When the most massive stars finish the quiet arithmetic of their cores, pressure and gravity lose their long truce. The result is sudden but not careless, a brief act of generosity we call a supernova. You don't need the equations, keep the feeling release. The star's last exhale becomes a letter addressed to the future, written in light and elements. In 4. Out. 6. Inside, the star layers had been stacked like a patient kitchen, hydrogen to helium to carbon and oxygen, farther into neon, magnesium, silicon, each shell a room with its own warmth. At the center sat Iron, the quiet guest that will not pay you back for heat spent. When iron dominates, the math refuses profit. The core folds. For a breathless moment, everything falls inward. Then the infalling matter meets a wall of incompressibility and rebounds. A shock walks outward, gathering help from neutrinos, from the very lightness trapped inside. The star's envelope loosens and flies. We experience it from far away. So far, the explosion is a flower seen across an ocean. Its petals are photons. Its scent is a rain of newborn metals. Astronomers speak for elements heavier than helium. Calcium for your bones. Iron for your blood. Oxygen for your next breath. Phosphorus for thoughts that are sentences. These are the souvenirs a dying giant flings into the dark. Let your eyelids grow warm. Notice your body's own ledger. Inhale brings the new exhale, releases the used. You too are a careful exchange. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. The blast doesn't simply erase, it sculpts. A shock front sweeps through the nearby cloud, compressing some parts, clearing others. Dense knots that were almost ready suddenly are places that had been stuck. Get room. When multiple supernovae bloom inside a young cluster over a few million years, their shells overlap like circles drawn on wet paper, merging into cavities where hot gas can rise. Those rises form superbubbles, chimney mouths, wide enough for entire neighborhoods of heat to choose the halo. Upward, the gas thins and cools by degrees, leaving behind a breadcrumb trail of ions, oxygen in certain moods, nitrogen in others, each glowing at its own pitch. Some of that enriched gas will wander for ages, a traveling library. Some will rain back as the galaxy's weather turns. The rain is not water, but graze droplets of metal-rich clouds falling onto the disk, seasoning future nurseries with the ingredients of rock and sea, and eventually story. In 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not every end is loud. Smaller stars end as gentle lanterns, lifting their envelopes into planetary nebulae, delicate shells that drift outward, while a white dwarf ember cools within. These softer exhales also donate carbon dust complex molecule seeds for chemistry that will later try on the shapes of a sugar's rings, maybe even whispers. The galaxy's exhale is a choir, thunder voices and flutes, each with a part that matters. If sleep tugs at you, go with it. If you're awake, trace one supernova shell as it expands. At first, it is a hard, bright line, then it frays like lace, unraveling into filaments that mix with the wider medium. Along the rim, dusk grains are forged in sudden heat and tempered by the chill that follows. Some grains will enter newborn discs around quiet suns and become the sand of ancient beaches. Some will live in the dark between stars for eons, collecting thin coats of ice, waiting to be invited into warmth. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. Exhale is also a teacher. It limits. Too much gas in one place can run hot with starbirth and burn out its pantry. Winds and explosions moderate the feast, stretch it across time, protect future nights. This self-regulation isn't conscious, it's a property of the rules. Like a melody, the instrument insists on playing no matter who holds the bow. Galaxies that learn this balance keep making dawns for longer. Those that don't flare and fade, beautiful and brief, in the wake of a cluster's exhale, the room grows quiet again. Pressure relaxes, the cloud's edges cool. Filaments crawl back into focus like veins on the back of a hand. From above, the disk shows a pattern of cavities and arcs, the punctuation marks of breath. In between them, fresh inflow trickles in, and the cycle readies the next verse. Let your shoulders sink a little more. Let the bed lift you without asking anything in return. You don't need to hold the whole picture. It's enough to keep the rhythm. Receive, release, receive, release. A star's last gift becomes a planet's first chance. Your exhale becomes the room's small warmth. The room's small warmth becomes your permission to let go. We'll follow one of those metal-rich rains next down through the halo into the disk, where it will join a quiet cloud and lend its alphabet to a future shore. We'll listen to how long cycles cradle small futures and how patient weather writes subtle miracles. For now, in 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The galaxy has taught its lesson in light. Night turns the page and waits. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Far above the spiral's bright lanes, yesterday's warmth goes thin and thoughtful. Gas that rose through chimneys, seasoned by supernovae, lightened by time, meets the halo's quiet and begins to cool. Cooling is not a switch, it's a conversation. Atoms shed energy by degrees, like a traveler emptying pockets, first the large coins, then the small, until the weight of heat is gone. And falling feels natural again. In 4. Out 6. Where hot flow meets cooler surroundings, mixing layers, appear sheets of turbulence as delicate as steam over winter water. Tiny ripples grow teeth, Kelvin Helmholtz curls roll the edges, and filaments condense out of the blur. Each filament is a promise of return, a bead on a long necklace heavy enough now to listen to gravity's invitation. Enriched by metals forged in stellar fire, these beads radiate more efficiently, cooling faster, tightening sooner, until they begin to drift inward like lanterns dimming into sleep. Think of a slow fountain in the center, warmth rises around it, cooled arcs curve back down. Astronomers call it exactly that, a galactic fountain. The cycle writes grace into the medium, what left as pressure returns as provision. Above the disk, the rain gathers, cloudlets, veils, sheets, then breaks into falling weather. Not water, not sound. Just the soft arithmetic of mass finding home. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let the back of your tongue soften against quiet teeth. Your breath is practicing the same cycle out, to lighten in, to nourish. Breathe in 4. Hold 2. Breathe out 6. As the metal weather meets the outskirts of the disc, it wears two faces. Some drops are shy and co-rotating, slipping neatly into the turning flow as if they knew the steps before arriving. Others meet headwinds, sheer and wake, and their edges fray into streamers that slowly align with the local spin. Along their paths, contact with existing gas writes thin shocks. Nothing loud, just the tap of a fingertip on a drumskin the size of a county. Those taps compress. Compressed gas cools, cooling gas thickens. Thickening gas remembers how to be cloud. The spiral pattern itself helps. Like a traffic wave guiding cars into lanes, density waves shepherd material toward ridges where it can rest long enough to change. In the crests, metal-rich rain mingles with older stock, upgrading the recipe for what stars and planets will become. Iron and silicon for rock, oxygen for oceans, carbon for things that try the shape of thought. If drowsiness has your name between its fingers, let it. The galaxy can be tended in the background. If you're awake, imagine one drop's whole life born in heat, lifted, cooled, condensed, and now returning a quiet letter addressed to a future shoreline. In 234, out 23456. Not all rain reaches the ground at once. Some hovers as high-velocity clouds skirting the disk, tasting its rotation, then choosing a time. Others arrive in company, veiled by faint magnetic fields that thread them like stitching, keeping them coherent until they can merge with a waiting lane. At their edges, dust seeds freeze thin mantles, water CO simple organics like frost gathering on window glass before dawn. Each mantle is a small savings account of chemistry ready to be cashed in when a nursery opens its door. Below the disk, receives without ceremony. There are no trumpets for replenishment. Just mass joining mass temperature, stepping down molecules holding hands, and the long geometry of collapse beginning again in a handful of lucky rooms. In those rooms, the alphabet will be richer. In those rooms, planets will one day inherit more ways to be blue-green or quietly grey and habitable. Pause here. Feel your own rain returning the exhale, clearing the inhale, refilling the day's noise, receding to a friendly edge. You are also a fountain. What leaves you as tension can return as ease. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. From far above, the whole cycle looks like respiration drawn in calligraphy arches, rising curves, descending a patient script across hundreds of millions of years. From here, it feels like sufficiency. There will be more clouds. There will be more dawns. The pantry is stocked with metals and memory. The next nurseries will not have to start from nothing. We'll let this weather settle into the disk and thicken in the dark. On the next step, we'll take another short rest together, an easy lullaby to lay the body down, while the galaxy prepares its next verse. In 234, out 23456. The inhale continues. The night agrees. We'll take another soft pause, just long enough to let the galaxy keep working in the dark, while your body settles deeper. Breathe in, 234. Hold, 1, 2. Breathe out, 23456. Let attention be a warm lantern you can place anywhere. Start at the forehead. Imagine a smooth cloth laid across it, cool at first, then perfectly neutral. The small muscles there flatten like quiet water. Eyebrows soften. Eyelids grow pleasantly heavy. Their edges blur. In 4, out 6. Cheeks unbrace. Nose and sinuses open like windows after rain. Tongue rests on the floor of the mouth. Jaw slackens the hinges, quiet and kind. Back of the head grows heavy in its cradle. Neck wide in the space between each vertebra with the thought alone. Collarbones float like two thin boats on a calm bay. Shoulders melt down your sides, half an inch at a time. Upper arms, warm elbows loosen, forearms lengthen. Palms glow faintly. Fingers forget their names. Breathe in cool. Breathe out warm. Across the chest, feel the easy bellows of the diaphragm. Ribs opening like shutters just enough. Heart unhurried, trustworthy. Belly releases outward on the inhale, and on the exhale it returns without effort, no holding, no guarding. Lower back spreads like ink through paper. Hips sink with a long, quiet yes. Thighs soften. Knees unlock. Calves unspool, shins cool. Ankles loose. Heels heavy. Soles warm. 10 toes dim, one by one. If thoughts pass, let them. They're not doors, they're weather. Now the countdown, each number a step down a gentle staircase. With every exhale, descend one step deeper. 10. The room agrees to keep watch. 9. Forehead smooth, eyes at rest. 8. Shoulders unburdened, collarbones floating. 7. Arms heavy in the best way. 6. Breath like a tide with no storms. 5. Belly easy, spine warm. 4. Hips and legs sinking into quiet earth. 3. Feet warm, toes distant stars. 2. Edges of the body soften into the bed. 1. The whole room becomes a blanket. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If sleep arrives, let it take the wheel. If you're still lightly awake, we'll make the breath even simpler. In through the nose for 4, pause for 2. Out through the mouth for 6. Repeat 3 times, and with each exhale, imagine a small window opening in the chest, releasing the last draft of the day. Now a quick sweep for any remaining knots. Between the eyebrows, release. At the base of the skull, release. Behind the heart, release. In the belly, release. Across the hips, release. At the arches of the feet, release. You don't need to fix anything. You only need to allow. If stray sounds visit distant traffic, a pipe settling a soft hum, let them be part of the lullaby. The Milky Way has its own background music and still rests. So can you. We'll anchor with 3 images, each paired with a breath. A lantern in a quiet misinhale, receive calm. Exhale, keep only what helps. A river under moonlight, inhale, the river widens. Exhale, the stones grow round. A sleeping garden, inhale, cool dew gathers. Exhale, scent of soil rises, everything unhurried. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. From here, you can drift completely. The story will keep itself gentle, and when you return, you'll already be farther downstream. If you remain with me a little longer, we'll listen next to the galaxy's most reliable clocks and its quietest messengers, to pulses that keep time across light years and particles that ghost through stone, carrying news from places too dense for light to leave. For now, let the last word be a feeling rather than a sentence. Enough. You've done enough. Rest is doing too. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some memories are carved in stone, others are kept in rhythm. When a massive star ends gently enough to leave behind a compact heart, or violently enough to compress its core beyond ordinary matter, the result can be a neutron star, a city-sized ember with a mountain's mass, spinning fast, magnetic fields braided tight. If its beams of radio light sweep past us, we hear a pulsar tick, tick, tick so regular that we borrow it as a clock. In 4, out, 6. Imagine a lighthouse on a black coast turning with fierce patience. Each time its face meets yours, the room brightens and then dims. Some pulsars spin dozens of times per second, millisecond pulsars per hundreds, astonishingly stable, as if the universe tucked a metronome into the dark to keep time for the long song of everything else. Their regularity is a ledger we can read for tiny disturbances, a planet tugging its parent into stellar weather drifting between us, even the slow swell of gravitational waves stretching and relaxing the space between ticks. In the Milky Way's choir, pulsars keep the beat. Let your shoulders soften. Notice your own internal timekeepers, the heart, the breath, steady, forgiving. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. Not all messengers ride light. Some are shyer, passing through matter as if walls were fog. These are neutrinos, little ghosts, born in stellar cores, in supernova hearts, in the quiet furnace of our sun. Trillions pass through you each second without a sound. They rarely stop. But when one does meet a detector's patient water or ice and leaves a faint blue signature, it's as if the universe pressed a fingerprint on glass and moved on. Neutrinos bring immediate news from places light cannot quickly report. In a collapsing star, they surge outward, first carrying a weather report from a depth where photons are trapped, telling us the core has changed. Even in calm times, the sun's neutrinos sketch the tempo of fusion with unembellished honesty. They don't scatter, don't ricochet, don't gossip. They go direct. In 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Together, pulsars and neutrinos form a curious archive, one written as pulse and one as whisper. If the Milky Way keeps a diary, this is its shorthand, precise, minimal, faithful. Astronomers lay the ticks from many pulsars side by side like threads stretched on a loom. If space itself wavers because of distant giants, black holes, circling galaxies, waltzing the spacing between ticks shifts by hair's breadths. Across years, those hair's breadths spell a sentence. Patient listening turns to seeing. You don't have to follow the math. Keep the sensation trustworthy repetition. A breath, returning to the same counts. A heartbeat, returning to the same arc. The comfort of a schedule written by physics rather than demand. Pause. Soften the area around the eyes. Let the tongue rest low. Let the jaw unhook. Feel the body's own pulsar. The thrum in the wrists, the ankles, the throat, unhurried kind. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. Some pulsars keep company. In tight binaries, matter streams from a companion and spins the neutron star faster, polishing it into a millisecond jewel. Others carry planets, small, stubborn worlds surviving in a hard neighborhood revealed only by subtle periodic delays in the ticks. Memory here is timing a few microseconds late, a few early, and we infer an entire unseen architecture. Neutrinos tell different secrets. They trace process, not posture. The way cores convert light elements into heavier ones, the way a supernova's heart breathes once, twice, and then lets go, the way cosmic rays are born in distant engines and sometimes aim a neutrino our direction as a calling card. Where light shows surfaces, neutrinos sketch interiors. If sleep tugs, go with it. If you remain, picture a simple desk in a quiet room. On it, two instruments, a metronome ticking steadily pulsars, keeping the beat of space-time. A thin paper envelope arriving without fanfare, neutrinos, a note from the deep. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We learn humility by listening. The galaxy is large enough to host storms that last longer than civilizations and gentle enough to hand us clocks and whispers we can actually hold. Between the loud lessons of supernovae and the slow weather of inflow, these signals anchor our map. They remind us that underneath the bloom and bustle there is order, elastic, not rigid, musical, not mechanical. Let that order lend its calm to your body. Count one breath as a pulsar tick. Count another as a neutrino's quiet passing. Neither asks you to hurry. Soon, we'll step into the exhale again. But at frequencies, your skin doesn't notice charged particles loosed into the dark background. Murmurings that bathe the disk, cosmic rays, and the invisible hum that threads the halo. We'll visit those next, as gently as a hand smoothing a page. For now, breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. May your night inherit the metronome's steadiness and the messenger's ease. Nothing urgent, only rhythm and rest. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not every exhale is light or wind. Some are letters without envelopes, charged particles set free to wander. We call them cosmic rays, protons, mostly with sprinkles of heavier nuclei and a few stray electrons flung from supernova shocks, newborn pulsar wind nebulae, and the busy edges of bubbles. They depart fast, then learn patience as they cross a forest of magnetic threads. In, 4. Out, 6. Magnetic fields lace the galaxy like invisible ivy clinging to stone. You don't see the vines, but you see how leaves choose their paths. In that lattice, cosmic rays seldom travel straight. They meander, ricocheting off ripples and kinks off tiny storms in the field, alphen waves humming through the plasma like a bow across a cello string. Each scatter is a comma, not a period. The sentence keeps going. If you listen for a sound, you won't find one. If you listen for a texture, it's there, a soft grain to the night, a fine static that doesn't disturb sleep, because it is everywhere and gentle. The disk is bathed in it. The halo too. This background does quiet work, warming cold pockets by a whisper, nudging chemistry along in dark rooms, keeping ionization alive where starlight cannot reach. It's the galaxy's background murmur. Neither threat nor spotlight, just continuity. Let your shoulders slide lower. Let the base of the skull widen. Your breath can be the field that guides without gripping. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. When a supernova shell expands, its shock front is a workshop. Particles bounce back and forth across the moving wall, stealing energy a sliver at a time, diffusive shock acceleration, a patient pickpocket. Many escape as journeymen set loose to carry a small warmth across long distances. Most will not strike anything of consequence for ages. A few will meet a grain of dust, a molecule of gas, a bit of ice, and leave a signature, a tiny change in charge or chemistry that added over millennia adjusts what a cloud can become. In the body, there is a similar stratum, signals too faint to name, that together decide a mood. A room's temperature by 1 degree, a footfall in a hallway far away, the weight of the blanket compared to yesterday. None demands attention, all contribute to ease. Cosmic rays are that kind of influence, ambient, permissive, a low background that keeps the medium from forgetting it, can respond. Above and below the disk, the halo hums. Magnetic field lines arch like slow ribs, and the thin gas between them listens to fluctuations that carry energy without moving much matter at all. Think of it as a distant surf, whose waves you don't see, only the salt in the air. The hum smooths rough gradients, massages pressure differences into gentler slopes, helps the fountain's rain choose its lanes. When chimneys exhale heat, the hum accepts it. When inflows return with their coolness, the hum makes room. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You might imagine the galaxy asleep beneath this murmur. That's close. Sleep is not the absence of activity, it's the presence of organized quiet. While the surface rests, maintenance goes on. The background keeps timing, keeps circulation, keeps the pantry aired. Cosmic rays and magnetic whispers are the night shift custodians who move soft-footed down long corridors, turning lights low and leaving everything readier than they found it. If drowsiness lifts you, let it. If you stay, picture a single proton's pilgrimage, born in the bright bell of a shock, tossed into a maze, nudged left, right, left again. Centuries for one arm of one spiral. Somewhere in a dark cloud, it meets a molecule and persuades an electron to part ways for a moment. The cloud cools a hair differently. A future star's environment tilts by a whisper. That's all. And yet, it matters the way one kind sentence can change the color of a day. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. Balance lives here too. Too many high-energy visitors would be a storm. Too few a still pond that grows stale. The galaxy holds to the middle, porous and poised, exhaling particles, inhaling calm, letting the hum do what hums do, fill the space between louder notes, so the music feels whole. Back in your room, feel your own background, the nearly silent pulse in your fingers, the faint rise of breath at the collarbone, the floor's patient support. You don't have to attend to any of it for it to carry you. We will leave the hum playing and step next toward a gentler geography, the Goldilocks neighborhoods of a spiral galaxy, where conditions are neither too crowded nor too sparse, and where our own sun keeps house on a modest side street, the Orion Spur. There, the inhale softens into habitability and the exhale becomes ordinary weather, the kind that grows gardens. For now, in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The invisible has done its work. Your body knows what to do with quiet. Let the night hold you the way field lines hold the dark. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A spiral galaxy has neighborhoods, avenues bright with newborns, old districts where stars walk slowly, and side streets where life has time to consider itself. Astronomers sometimes speak of a galactic habitable zone, not a fence. Just a tendency, regions where conditions lean toward calm rather than calamity. Metals are neither scarce nor smothering. And the supernova weather is frequent enough to enrich, but not so loud as to scorch. Our sun keeps house in one such suburb on a small side street called the Orion Spur. In 4. Out 6. Picture the Milky Way from above. Two grand arms, Perseus and Scutum Centaurus, sweep like ribbons, others branch and blend. Between those parades lie quieter lanes, spurs and interarm regions where gas is present but not pressed too hard, where starbirth is steady rather than feverish. The Orion Spur is one of these modest, hospitable a bridge between bright boulevards. From here, the night looks rich, but not frantic. Dawn takes its time. Under your ribs, a similar suburb exists, a breath that is full enough to nourish, slow enough to soothe. The body knows where its Goldilocks is. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. Closer to the galactic center, the scenery is dazzling, and dense, crowded clusters, clashing orbits a bar of stars, streaming like city traffic at rush hour, and in the very heart, a patient supermassive black hole. Beauty thrives there in drama, but drama makes poor bedtime weather. Farther out toward the rim, the pantry thins fewer heavy elements to build rock and water, fewer nurseries to seed futures. Between those extremes sits a ring of balance where metal abundance, radiation, background, and collision chance find a soft truce. Our suburb lives in that ring. In the Orion Spur, clouds still gather, but they do so in chapters, not headlines. H-2 regions bloom like lanterns, not wildfires. Superbubbles exist, yes, but they don't overlap into chaos as often as in the inner arms. The spiral pattern passes through as a density wave, encouraging and then moving on like a teacher who suggests rather than insists. Gas has time to cool. Disks around young suns have time to tidy themselves into lanes and clearings. Collisions still happen, asteroids tap, comets visit, but the dice are not loaded. Let your shoulders fall another quarter inch. Let the jaw soften. Notice how just enough feels in your body, how a moderate breath satisfies without strain. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's also timing. The sun orbits the galaxy roughly once every couple 100 million years, and the pattern of arms is not a fixed sculpture, but a moving song. We may spend long seasons between the loudest verses. During those seasons, the background radiation runs lower, the sky throws fewer tantrums, and chemistry on small stones can attempt longer sentences. Oceans, if they arise, can practice weather continents. If they lift, can learn patience cells. If they start, can iterate without constant resets. Metallicity, the abundance of heavy elements, plays its part. Too little, and there's not enough iron for cores, silicon for crusts, phosphorus for thoughts. Too much, and cooling clouds fragment into swarms of small stars. Disks become crowded markets where giants bully neighbors. The Orion Spur tends toward the middle metals, sufficient fragmentation, moderate room for stable sun-like stars to host well-behaved disks. Pause here. Feel the room as a spur between larger rivers of the day, emails and errands on one side, dreams on the other. This is the branch where you can slow down without leaving the city. Breathe in 4. Hold 2. Breathe out 6. From our suburb, the sky's brushstroke, the Milky Way band arrives on clear nights like a folded ribbon. We see nurseries in Orion, old clusters like the Hyades remnants, like the Vela shell, evidence that the cycle of inhale and exhale is alive, but not overwhelming. Even the solar system's tilt and pace reduce encounters with the densest traffic. We still receive comets from distant reservoirs, we still weather the occasional bright visitor. Yet the ledger balances in favor of continuity. Continuity is underrated. It's how seeds become orchards. On smaller scales, disks around young stars in this neighborhood show gaps and rings, signatures of planets in rehearsal sweeping lanes clean. Ices line up beyond frost boundaries, rocks assemble inward of them. Some worlds gather thick blankets of air, others keep it thin. A few linger in the bands where starlight is gentle and liquid water can argue for staying. Not guarantees, just odds improved by the suburbs' manners. If sleep is calling, you can go. The galaxy will keep watch. If you're awake, turn your attention to your own Orion Spur. The stretch of breath that feels exactly right. Not deep, not shallow. Measured, kind. In, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Balance doesn't mean stillness. It means a reliable rhythm in flow. Topping up clouds, winds, carving rooms, metals, seasoning the mix, magnetic hum smoothing the edges. In such rhythms, small things can attempt complexity and survive their mistakes. That is all life requires: time to try and permission to err. We'll keep to this gentleness as we move on. Next, a short coast, a third lullaby to lay you deeper. Then the lantern light returns as we follow the quiet assembly of families. Stars, disks, planets, oceans, and at last, the small domestic miracles that teach a galaxy what home can mean. For now, breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. You live in a kind neighborhood of a large breathing city of light. Let that be enough for the night to loosen. We'll slide a little farther down like a boat, letting the current do the work. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let attention be light as ash. Place it on the crown of the head, feel a soft, cool circle. Let it drift to the temples, 2 coins warming in the sun. Across the brow, smooth linen, no creases. Eyelids pleasant weight. Eyes floating in dark water. In 4, out, 6. Behind the eyes, imagine a small dimmer switch. With every exhale, turn the room down a notch. Thoughts fade to silhouettes. Silhouettes fade to outlines. Outlines fade to nothing in particular. Tongue resting low. Jaw unlocked. Throat open like a quiet hallway. Breathe in cool 4 counts. Hold 2. Breathe out warm 6 counts. Now picture 3 harbors you can moor in at any time. Still lake moonlight, glass water oars stowed. Your breath makes rings that reach every shore and vanish kindly. Dunes sleep. Pale sand, slow wind, far lighthouse. You're folded into the slope remembers your shape and keeps it safe. Paper lantern, a small glow you carry without hands. It never burns, only breathes with you. Choose one. Step inside it with the next inhale. Seal the door on the exhale. We'll coast with a 10-1 feather count. Each number is 1 feather, leaving the back of a bird until the bird is simply air. 10, a feather lifts from the crown. 9, a feather from the brow. 8, from the eyes. 7, from the mouth and jaw. 6, from the neck and shoulders. 5, from the arms and hands. 4, from the chest and back. 3, from the belly and hips. 2, from the legs. 1, from the feet and toes. What remains is the bird-shaped space, weightless quiet content to be held by the sky. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If a stray thought knocks, let the harbor answer. If a memory stirs, offer it a chair by the window and keep resting. You owe no sentences to anything right now. To a gentle body lock, not a tension, just a promise. Forehead soft locked, eyes at ease locked, jaw loose locked, shoulders low locked, hands warm locked, belly unguarded locked, hips heavy locked, feet warm locked, breath slow locked, mind kind locked. Now 3 breaths with tiny images. Inhale cool night air through pine, exhale resin and earth longer than the inhale. Inhale tide under the pier. Exhale the wood sighs and settles. Inhale an open window. Exhale curtains agreeing. If you are already gone perfect, if you're hovering, that's perfect too. We are making room space where the next part of the story can arrive without waking you. Remember the rule of this night, nothing urgent. Gravity is patient. Light is patient. You may be patient with yourself. On the next page, we'll dimly lift the lantern again to watch families form stars with their discs, with their rings, with their rough, bright apprentices we'll someday call worlds. It will be slow, like watching frost write lace on glass. For now, give the floor all your weight. Let your breath round its edges. Let the harbor keep you. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sleep may take you between these words. If it doesn't, the words will carry you until it does. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Galaxies remember in streams and scars. Stars remember in families. When a young star steadies its light, the disk that fed it does not vanish. It thins and flattens into a quiet workbench, gas dust, frost sunlight, where small bodies try shapes the way children try costumes. The record of this workshop lingers in rings and gaps lanes, swept by newborn giants' crescents, where dust piles under a breeze of light filigree spirals, sketched by a visitor's brief hello. In 4. Out 6. Dust is not simple. Grains where coats water, CO, methanol, delicate ices that turn collisions gentle. What would have been a shattering becomes a kiss and stick. Pebbles inherit from dust, boulders inherit from pebbles. In the shadows just beyond the frost lines, growth is faster ices, add mass without heat, undoing the handshake. Closer in stone and metal, learn to hold together, stacking into planetesimals that remember the sun even when far winds blow. They keep the same plane, the same sense of east. Listen a moment for the disk's soft traffic. Gas drifts inward like a slow river. Dust drifts outward where pressure hills allow. Vortices, little weather systems gather grains into eddies that refuse to empty. Magnetic threads whisper talk into motion, moving angular momentum around like librarians moving books to better shelves. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. Memory enters as order. The disk forgets most of the turbulence of its birth and remembers instead a short list of rules: conserve, share, settle, cool. Where heavy seeds form quickly, they pull gas into coats and become giant sculptors with broad hands. Where growth is slower cores, stay lean and rocky, trading mass for neighborliness. The result is not random, but not uniform either. A family portrait with tall and small, inner and outer, each orbit a sentence that doesn't collide with the next. Even after the gas thins to whispers, the record keeps writing. Leftover stones sweep lanes, clean, collide, melt, freeze, and sometimes deliver oceans to worlds that wouldn't have brewed them alone. Comets remember the cold pantry beyond asteroids, remember the warm kitchen within. Moons remember the dance their parents taught them. Rings remember a moon that never quite became a moon. If sleep is near, let it arrive. If you're still here, hold a single grain between fingers of imagination, a micron-wide bead of silicate with a coat of ice. It tumbles in starlight, warm spins, and sticks to another grain. 2 becomes 3. 3 becomes a raft. The raft meets 1,000 others at a pressure ridge and becomes a city you can't see yet, because cities begin as intentions. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some memories are fiery. When a large body brushes too close to another, or when the last great sweep clears, a lane shocks run through mantles cores, separate from crusts, iron sinks, and locks a magnetic field into a planet's spine. Later volcanoes make atmosphere from stone. Later still, the sky learns to hold water without losing it all to the day's temper. Each step is a receipt. A world keeps craters as dates, basalts as signatures, continents as edits that took eras to agree on. Our own family album shows similar chapters, inner rocky worlds where metal and rock took the lead, outer giants wearing gas and ice belts, where possibilities stalled into beautiful debris reservoirs far away that still send postcards of dust. The particulars vary in every system, but the grammar repeats: disk seed sweep, settle sculpt, clear coast. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. What does a galaxy remember through such families? That quiet fosters durable novelties. That patience is the secret ingredient in oceans. That warmth is best delivered in portions, and that storms when spaced apart can be teachers rather than tyrants. Above all, that complexity is not an accident, but a consequence when rhythm is given time. If you're drifting, let the edges blur. If you remain, look once more at the disk in your mind's eye. The star is steady, the rings are tidy. In one lane, a small world cools with a thin blue film. In another, a shy giant keeps order with gravity like a gardener's hands. Farther out, a halo of leftovers keeps the ledger honest, with occasional reminders that nothing is finished, only ongoing. We'll follow what occasionally leaves next: the runaways, the thrown stones, the travelers unbound, stars kicked to high speeds, planets loosed from their leashes, dust set free to become someone else's beginning. Exhale has wanderers too, and their paths write footnotes in the margins of maps. For now, in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Families form. Memory deepens. The workshop dims its lamps and keeps working anyway. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not every child stays in the neighborhood. Some stars leave with pockets full of light and a speed that loosens every tie. Some planets slip their leashes and learn the dark by heart. Exhale has wanderers. In 4, out 6. A star can be hurled outward by a crowded dance near the galactic center, gravity's quick arithmetic, turning a close pass into a slingshot. One partner falls inward, toward the massive heart, the other is paid in velocity and sent across the disk like a silver seed. Elsewhere, a binary loses one member to a supernova, the remaining star keeps its course, but not its tether. Suddenly free and fast, a note released from a chord. We call these runaways and the fastest hypervelocity stars. They cross spiral arms the way a bright fish crosses seams in the sea, aware of currents loyal to none. You don't have to follow their paths. Keep the feeling departure without anger motion as a kind of fate. The galaxy exhale is not only heat and wind, it is also permission to go. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. Planets wander too. In young systems, giants practice wide steps. Resonances tug close passes trade energy like coins. A smaller world is sometimes tipped from a stable lane, sped up and ejected, leaving the parent star behind. These are rogue planets, oceans without a sky, continents under perpetual night, or just cold stone with a long memory. Some may carry warmth from within radioactive embers, tidal kneading, long after exile, tiny central hearths that keep a crust from absolute silence. They move through the dark that is not empty, guided by fields they cannot see, waiting for no sunrise and fearing no eclipse. If sleep is near, let it take you. The wanderers do not mind being imagined in brief. If you remain, picture a single rogue black on black, ringed by a thin halo of infrared warmth, like the breath of a sleeping animal on winter air. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Between stars, smaller travelers roam pebbles, boulders, comets without a home address. Most go unsung. A few pass through other systems and are noticed as interstellar visitors, their paths too straight, their speeds too sure to belong. They carry small news, the mineral habits of foreign disks, the flavors of distant ices, the proof that systems do not keep everything they make. What leaves one workshop may become grit in another, seeding clouds, scratching trajectories, starting stories that weren't possible before. Exhale is circulation. What is unbound is not lost, it is shared. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unhook. Feel your own edges loosen into the room without leaving it. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. From far above the Milky Way's departures, draw faint straight stitches through its curved fabric. Each stitch is a record of an encounter, an argument settled, an imbalance resolved. The disk doesn't chase what leaves, it adjusts. In the vacancy, inflow returns, clouds thicken, and the cycle continues. Stability isn't the refusal of change, it's the ability to welcome it. Sometimes a runaway carries companions, a faint disk, a handful of planets clinging to the far star's shallow gravity well, or a moon that refuses to leave its exiled parent. Their nights are long and their skies unfamiliar, but the rules that keep them together are the same rules that made them. Even far from origin, order can survive in a small local way. A campfire on a wide plain still warms those at its ring. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We often imagine home as a fixed coordinate. The galaxy suggests another kindness. Home as a rhythm you carry. The runaway star carries its spectrum, its particular color of light, like a lullaby that works in any room. The rogue planet carries geology and gravity, mountains that keep their shape, seas, if any, that keep their level, like a memory worn on the body. The interstellar stone carries its chemistry, None is helpless, all are context in motion. If you drift, drift. If you hover, let a last picture settle the spiral city far behind, a thin trail of light, marking where you were ahead, a bridge of dark that is not empty, only quiet, and a patient hum that says, the rules are good out here too. Exhale then is not merely pushing away. It's making space for the next cloud to gather, for the next family to form, for the traveler to teach a new neighborhood, a trick learned elsewhere. In leaving, something arrives somewhere else. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. On the next breath, we'll circle back toward the center that steadies our own sky, toward a sun that learned patience in a gentle spur, and the small domestic miracles that followed liquid rock weather story. We'll keep our steps soft, so anyone sleeping may stay that way. For now, let motion be kindness, let distance be permission, let the room be your gravity. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After long cycles of gathering and letting go, a modest star steadies and a small world cools enough to keep a skin of water. Here, the galaxy's great inhale becomes intimate sunlight, arriving one photon at a time, oceans answering with a glitter that is half mirror, half memory. In 4, out 6. Sunlight is not a command, it's provision. At the top of the sky, it is bright and impartial. Lower down, it gentles through air, through cloud, through leaves, through waves. A fraction warms stone, a fraction warms water, a fraction becomes chemistry that remembers the light it drank. Day is the world's inhale. Night is its unhurried exhale, back to space in a longer, cooler color. On a calm morning, the sea is a lung you can see. Tides lift the shoreline's chest, breezes comb the surface, currents move like thoughts, slow, global, continuous. In deep water, temperature stacks in quiet layers, warm above, cool below, until winter stirs the deck or storms write punctuation. Salt is a ledger, density a vote. The ocean keeps the day's excess heat the way a good friend holds a worry and returns it smaller. Let the jaw soften, let the eyes grow heavy. Your breath is also a tide gathering on the inhale, smoothing on the exhale. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. Underfoot, rock remembers fire. A mantle convex like porridge that refuses to boil, slow cells lifting and sinking over ages. Plates, shoulder against plates, mountains rise like slow prayers. Basins open and invite oceans to move in. Volcanic breaths season the air, weather wears edges down and returns minerals to the sea. This is the quiet engine heat, leaking outward gravity, insisting on shape, chemistry taking notes. Nothing hurries, everything learns. At the surface, weather translates starlight and ocean into days you can feel pressure fields drifting like whales' fronts, greeting each other. Rain becoming rivers and rivers returning as fog. Clouds are itinerant librarians carrying fresh water from where it is too much to where it is not enough, shelving it gently onto fields and forests, then checking it out again to the sky. If sleep visits, now let it. The engine runs without supervision. If you're awake, picture 3 small exchanges that happen everywhere and seldom ask applause. Leaf and light. A chlorophyll net catches a photon, splits water, saves a piece of the day as sugar, and releases a breath you're using right now. Stone and rain, a drop meets feldspar, teases ions into the stream, and one day those ions become shells, bones, or dust that glows red at sunset. Wave and wind, a gust roughens water. Water cools the gust, and the two agree on a temperature for the afternoon. In 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Habitability isn't one miracle, it's a chorus of modest ones keeping time, a magnet field, shepherding the solar wind around the edges, an ozone film diffusing harshness into help a tilt that seasons gently, a moon that steadies the wobble and lifts tides into useful motion. Each is a small vote for continuation. Together, they write a climate that can try complexity without starting over every hour. At night, the planet returns its borrowed heat in a longer tone, infrared chords rising like sighs. The sky keeps just enough under a blanket of trace gases. The rest slips outward to the universal dark, which is not hostile, only wide. Balance is a quiet bookkeeper, out-averaged over the tantrums and intermissions. When the arithmetic is fair, valleys remember snow, forests remember rain, and reefs remember the right shade of blue. Let your shoulders loosen another half-inch. Feel the bed as a continent that has chosen to hold you. Allow the room's temperature to be what it is. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. On scales small enough to kiss, life edits the planet and the planet edits life. Roots crack, stone feeds, rivers feed deltas feed coasts where birds spell cursive on the air. Microbes inhale strange things and exhale futures. Corals write limestone cathedrals a millimeter at a time. Forests turn sunlight into shade, the most generous invention. All of it is the galaxy's inhale made local energy, gathered gently and spent with taste. Nothing here shouts, even storms are lessons in redistribution. After they pass, new edges appear, new soils, new rooms for seeds to try. Continuity resumes its turn at the microphone and sings the part of the song we sleep best to. If you are drifting, let go. Your body has learned the rhythm. If you remain, rest with a final image, sunlight arriving across 8 minutes of clean space, meeting an ocean that answers with 1,000 small mirrors, heat sinking into evening crickets, tuning windows, opening a town, breathing together without meaning to. In 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Home is not an address, it is a well-tuned exchange. You are inside it. We'll take one last soft pause, an easy glide where the night does most of the work. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let the room be a harbor. Let the bed be a shoreline that remembers you. Start with 3 small permissions. You don't have to finish any thought tonight. You don't have to carry any name tonight. You don't have to be impressive to be loved by the dark. In 4, out, 6. Now a feather scan lighter than touch. Crown of the head, cool circle. Across the brow, linen smooth. Eyes, 2 quiet moons in eclipse. Cheeks weightless. Tongue resting low, friendly. Jaw unhooked, hinges easy. Neck lengthens by imagination alone. Collarbones floating boats. Shoulders drop a half-inch, then a whisper more. Arms warm, river to the wrists. Palms glow faintly. Fingers forget their names. Breathe in cool, breathe out warm. Chest bellows unhurried. Heart metronome set to kindness. Belly soft and allowed. Low back spreads like ink through paper. Hips heavy, with yes. Thighs loose ropes set down, knees unlatched, calves unspooled, ankles loose, feet pleasantly warm, 10 small suns dimming. If thoughts arrive, let them cross the sky like distant planes noticed, not pursued. We'll descend a 10-1 shoreline count. With each number, an outgoing wave leaves the beach smoother than it found it. 10. Forehead smooths. 9. Eyes heavier kind. 8. Jaw slack tongue low. 7. Shoulders soften, chest broad. 6. Arms warm, hands quiet. 5. Belly easy, back spacious. 4. Hips sink, legs obedient to gravity. 3. Ankles loose, feet warm, rocks. 2. Edges of the body blur into the bed. 1. The whole room a blanket. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're already going under perfect, let the words become distant shorebirds. If you're hovering, we'll add a triangle breath. Inhale for 4. Draw the first side. Hold for 2. Draw the short top. Exhale for 6. Close the base, longer, softer. Repeat 3 triangles. With each, your pulse draws smaller circles. Now, we'll lock the quiet. Not with tension, with a vow. Forehead soft kept, eyes heavy kept, jaw loose kept, shoulders low kept, hands warm kept, belly unguarded kept, hips heavy kept, feet warm kept, breath slow kept, mind kind kept. Breathe in 4, hold 2. Breathe out 6. Imagine the Milky Way as a dim ribbon beyond the roof breathing with you. On your inhale, the spiral gathers cool material and possibilities. On your exhale, chimneys release warmth and make room. Your body and the galaxy agree on the rhythm. Receive, release, soften, settle. We'll place 3 sleep anchors you can revisit any night. Anchor of sound, choose a quiet noise. Fan distant traffic, a soft hum, and decide it is friendly. Anchor of weight, feel the bed holding you, the way gravity holds rivers to their valleys. Anchor of image, a paper lantern in fog bright enough to be found dim enough for sleep. If later you surface half awake, touch any anchor and you will drift again. One last breath together. In. Cool 4. Hold. 2 featherlight. Out. Warm 6 longer than the inhale, like letting a boat slip its rope. You can sleep now. If you remain faintly awake, the story will continue in a hush, into afterglow, into meaning worn smooth by distance without asking you to rise. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a quiet that follows understanding, not the loud click of an answer, but a velvet shift when pieces decide they belong together. The galaxy's long respiration, filaments, arriving winds, departing metals, raining clouds, remembering, has been speaking all night. What it's been saying is simple. You are included. In. 4. Out. 6. Consider the inventory of your ordinary body iron that once rode the shock front of a dying giant, calcium that cooled inside a red star's gentle shell, oxygen brewed in cores that held fusion steady for millions of seasons. Your breath is a relay, sunlight caught by leaves, turned into sugars passed to you, released again to the air that will feed the leaves tomorrow. Your thoughts are low fires kept by chemistry that learned patience inside discs you will never see. Nothing about you is separate from the breathing city above the roof. Let your shoulders soften as if a wide hand smoothed them. Let the jaw hang easy. Let the small muscles around the eyes agree to be off duty. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. We borrowed the galaxy's language to fall asleep. Inhale and exhale, gather and give. You can keep that grammar when you wake. To receive a glass of water, a minute of silence, the color of the morning. To release a clenched thought, a loop that solved nothing, a hurry that forgot to ask if it was needed. Between those two verbs lies a life that fits. If you're hovering near sleep drift, the words will go on without tugging your sleeve. If you're still here, imagine standing far above the disk, where the Milky Way is a soft silver river. You can see the bright rooms carved by young clusters, the gentle chimneys, the long attic ribbons of streams. You can also see one dim suburb with a patient sun and a small world that learned ocean. Somewhere on a night like this, a window is open and someone is exhaling the day. That's you. That's enough. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Meaning doesn't arrive as thunder. It settles like dust that makes starlight visible. You are made from recycled tones. You belong to a rhythm that keeps promises over distances too large for worry. Even the parts of you that feel unsteady are held by rules that are kind in the long run. Heat flows outward, pressure and gravity negotiate balance. Is a book that can be reconciled. If a thought insists on staying, offer it a seat by the window and let it watch the sky breathe. If a feeling leans heavy, let the flow have most of it and keep only what is yours to carry gently. If a hope arrives shyly, make room at the table. Hopes are just future weather reports written in softer ink. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. Notice your radius and arm's length of warmth, a small weather of kindness that moves with you. In the morning, you can widen it for someone else the way a super bubble makes room for new clouds. No hurry. No sermon, just a little more space than there was. A kind word is a local exhale. A thank you is a local inhale. Rhythm scales. Remember the quiet engines, oceans storing heat, so afternoons are tolerable mantles, lifting continents, so rivers can find stories to tell forests, converting light into shade. You have quiet engines too. Sleep that edits experience into memory breath, that edits arousal into calm attention, that turns noise into pattern when it needs to, and lets pattern become blur when it's time to rest. If sleep is taking you now, let the next lines arrive as pictures. A lantern moving along the inside of a seashell spiral, your breath tracing the curve, steady, unafraid. A field after rain, cooled, rinsed, ready for footprints that will not hurry. A ribbon of Milky Way over a roof. Faint, definite, a sentence you don't have to finish to feel understood. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhere, gas is flowing inward to feed a cloud that will take a century to clear its throat. Somewhere else, a hot bubble is rising to the halo, making a chimney for pressure to leave without fuss. In another corner, a long ribbon of elderly stars is keeping a promise to a gravity well that no longer exists. None of them worries about whether they're doing it right. They are simply participating. You are too. By sleeping, you let the night do its custodial work. By waking later, You'll return borrowed light to useful forms. Kindness, attention. The small art of arranging a day so that it holds. You are the small warmth inside the spiral. And the spiral is not a distant tourist postcard, it is the family that lent you its elements and asked only that you spend them with taste. One last breath together before we dim to the softest ink. Breathe in cool 4. Hold 2 feather light. Breathe out warm 6 like steam leaving tea, leaving nothing but comfort. If you are gone, good. If you remain, we will turn the page gently, next toward an outro that keeps the promise of this quiet and a soft invitation to return when you need the galaxy to breathe with you again. The city of light above the roof continues its slow, kind work. Inside it, a window glows. That's more than enough. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a point in the night when explanation has finished its work and only keeping remains, keeping the room gentle, keeping the breath, even keeping the door to sleep open and unguarded. We have walked the long shore of a galaxy's breathing, the cold arrivals, the warm departures, the rain of metals, the forming of families, the wandering of the unbound, the weather that makes a home. What's left is simple. Let it hold you in 4. Out 6. If you're already far away, let these words be footprints that the tide erases. If you're here, we'll place the last soft stones where you can find them any night. Stone of rhythm, count 4 and 2, still 6 out. Let the exhale be longer than the inhale. Stone of place, feel the bed lift your weight as the halo lifts the disc, patient, invisible, reliable. Stone of permission, you may rest without finishing. The Milky Way will keep its projects without you for a while. Filaments will keep feeding clouds whether or not you name them. Winds will keep carving skylights. Fountains will keep their rain, clocks will keep their ticks, whispers will keep their route through stone and ice. You get to pause because the night is not a gap in the work. It is part of the work. Let the corners of the mouth soften. Let the eyes sink 1 quiet millimeter deeper. Let the hands forget their tasks. Breathe in cool. Hold feather. Breathe out warm longer. From above the roof, the band of the galaxy is a dim promise. From inside your chest, breath makes the same promise at human scale. I will return. It does again and again, even in sleep. Muscles that labored learn a smaller kind of version of their job. Thoughts that bargained all day step out into the hall and whisper until they remember silence. The body edits, the mind shelves. The room hums at the frequency of enough. If a stray worry tries the doorknob answer with weather, imagine rain ahead of it, soft and steady, turning the key useless. If an old sentence wants a last word, let the exhale lengthen and watch the punctuation become a period, then a line, then the white of the page. You are not refusing anything. You are rescheduling for the hour that knows what to do with it. In 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll leave 3 pictures behind the curtain so you can visit them without waking. A spiral drawn in chalk on a dark floor. You sit at the center, the chalk is cool under your palm. Each breath brightens one loop and dims another. And the drawing never finishes because it is not that kind of drawing. A window at dawn that hasn't happened yet. The glass is pale, the air new. You don't have to meet it now. It will knock when you're ready. A lantern underwater. It doesn't flicker, it sways. The light is a temperature rather than a glare. Fish pass like thoughts that don't require decisions. If you ever need to surface in the night, touch one picture, take one 4-2-6 breath, and let yourself tilt back toward the quiet slope. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. There are no tasks here, only participation. By sleeping, you agree to the scale that suits a body, hours, not eons, pillows, not halos. The galaxy will be itself when you wake. It is good at that. Your work then will be small and human water-light kindness arranged into a day. And that is enough to honor the city of stars that built your atoms and taught your chest how to move. Before we dim, completely listen once to the room's smallest noises, fabric settling a wire's faint sigh, the almost silence between heartbeats. That interval is where the night places its hand. It is not heavy, it is not empty. It is present. One last breath to sign the page. In cool 4, hold 2. Out warm 6 like steam. Leaving tea, leaving comfort behind. The rest belongs to quiet. Sleep well. The spiral will keep watch. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll let the story turn to texture now. Less meaning, more moss. Less sentence, more hush. Imagine the room as a lake at midnight. The surface is your skin. Beneath it, everything has decided to be slow. In 4, out 6. Let the breath get smaller, like footsteps turning into barefoot prints, then into a single smooth path. The body continues its housekeeping, pulse-shelving lungs, whispering muscles, writing done on the chalkboard and turning out the lights. No announcements, no applause. Only work that knows how to be quiet. If a picture helps, choose one of these and let it soften until it's only shade. A field of sedge under low stars. Wind strokes one way, then the other. Snow beginning, not falling hard, just rehearsal flakes, uncounted and kind. A long hallway of paper screens. At the far end, a door slides shut without sound. Breathe in cool. Hold feather. Breathe out warm longer. The Milky Way above the roof narrows to a chalk ribbon. Then to a thought of a ribbon. Then to the calm after a thought. Let your tongue rest low. Let the eyes float in a dark pool and forget they ever had edges. Let the jaw be an unlocked gate on a path no one is taking. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is nothing left to solve. The ledger balances by itself at this hour. What came in gratitude, breath, a little light. What went out? Tension, noise, the day's bright residue. If a word arrives, it will be a small one, soft here enough. If a sound arrives, it will be part of the blanket. If a memory arrives, it will take off its shoes. We'll step down a last shallow staircase. 5 steps into velvet. 5. Forehead smooth. The lake holds the sky. 4. Shoulders in warm water floating without trying. 3. Spine a slow riverbanks relaxed. 2. Hips and knees heavier than the idea of them. 1. A light goes out behind the heart and the room grows kinder. In. 4. Out. 6. Let the galaxy keep breathing without you for a while. It has practice. So do you. On the next exhale, release the narrator. The voice becomes a tide. The tide becomes a hum. The hum becomes a color you can't name. Breathe in cool 4. Hold 2, almost nothing. Breathe out warm 6, long level like dusk sliding under a door. Drift. Black. Sleep. Keep your eyes closed if that feels good. You don't have to move. Let the breath stay on its own metronome. 4 and 2, still 6 out. If tonight's quiet helped, you can invite it back anytime. Return to the 4-2-6 rhythm or to one picture we left for you: a paper lantern in fog, a shoreline at low tide, a chalk spiral on a dark floor. One image is enough to reopen the door. When mornings arrive and you want more of this gentle science stories that breathe slowly, facts folded into rest, you can find us again. We keep a light on here, the kind that doesn't wake the house night notes channel. You are not required to do anything right now. But if later, when the sun is up and your tea is warm, you'd like to help this quiet reach someone who needs it, subscribe, so the next lullaby knocks softly instead of getting lost. Like the video, if it gave you ease, tiny clicks. Tell the algorithm to be kind. Comment a single word: calm, slept, or your favorite night image, so other travelers know this room is safe. Share with a friend who carries too much light into the evening. No rush, no pressure. This is a soft ask meant for daylight, not for now. If you remain awake for a moment more, place a promise in your pocket for the morning. Drink water before the first screen. Step outside for 1 minute of sky. Keep one slow breath between impulse and answer. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you for letting me keep you company at the edge of sleep. I'll be here whenever you want the galaxy to breathe with you again. Now, let the page turn by itself. Let the room finish the sentence. Let rest do its quiet work. No lesson now, just a margin. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretend the room is a page, and the night writes with the thinnest ink so faint it doesn't wake the paper. Each breath is a line that only appears when you tilt the page to the light, and even then, it prefers to be guessed rather than read. In. 4. Out. 6. Let thought be a feather you balance on a finger. Don't steady it. Let it wobble, slide, and fall softly onto the bed. Another feather may drift down. Let it join the first. Soon, you have a small, quiet pile, soft, shapeless kind. Notice. 3. Almost silences. The space between heartbeat and heartbeat. The moment the inhale hands the breath to the hold. The hushed click of an eyelash touching another. Breathe in cool, small. Hold feather. Breathe out warm longer. If a word insists on existing, let it be enough. If a picture insists on forming, let it be a blank window at pre-dawn. The glass, neither dark nor light, only willing. Count down from 5 to 1, barely whispering to yourself inside. 5. The forehead is smooth paper. 4. The jaw unclasped, a book set down. 3. Shoulders slid 2 millimeters toward earth. 2. Hands warm stones in a riverbed. 1. A page turned with breath alone. There is nowhere to go after this sentence. There is no next thought that must be thought. If sleep wants you, it already knows the way. In, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll keep this margin for anyone who arrives late, anyone who wakes and needs a place to land again. It contains nothing but permission. Stay as long as you like, or let the page go blank and let the body take the pen. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are past sentences now, moving by currents more than by steps. Imagine a night ocean without wind. The surface keeps the sky like a promise. Underneath, water turns over very slowly, a single giant breath that takes years to finish. This is how the galaxy sleeps, not off, just deep. In, 4. Out. 6. Let your body become a small boat with the oars stowed. You do not choose the direction, you accept the tide. Muscles are ropes coiled dry. Thoughts are minnows at the edge of vision, there, then not. The stars above do not hurry. They cross the roofline like careful handwriting. Every few heartbeats, one becomes nothing. Not gone, just ordinary again. Because it was only your eyes quiver, making it sparkle. You can trust this too, the show continues without your attention. Breathe in cool to the collarbones. Hold feather. Breathe out warm, longer than in. Sink attention below the surface. Past the first hand's depth of awareness, where stray sounds blur. Past the second, where naming sleeps. Past the third, where the water is all one temperature and you remember you are carried. If an image insists, let it be small. A shell spiral lantern moving along its curve, round and round, never needing the center. A slow jellyfish pulse drift, pulse its engine. A patient bell of light. A grain of sand, everything passes around it, nothing is required of it. In, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll count in pairs that feel like waves touching ankles. 1, 2. Shore finds you. 3, 4. Shore forgives you. 5, 6. Shore remembers you. 7, 8. Shore releases you. 9, 10. Shore keeps breathing after you forget the word shore. Somewhere far away, a filament feeds a cloud. Somewhere else, a warm bubble rides a chimney in the dark. None of it needs your eyes. You are allowed to be the small sleeping ember on a quiet boat. Let the neck lengthen by imagination alone. Let the shoulders float. Let the hands be heavy at the ends of warm arms. Let the ribs widen the bare minimum and still be enough. In, 4, out, 6. If you surface for a second, it will be to the softest noises, fabric breathing the wires, faint sigh, a distant car folding into distance. Nothing asks for you. Everything agrees to wait. One last image before we drift deeper. A black canvas with one dim constellation that looks exactly like a door left open for air. On the inhale, the doorway brightens half a shade. On the exhale, it returns to almost invisible, still there, still yours. Breathe in cool, hold feather. Breathe out warm longer. The ocean keeps you. The stars keep time. You keep nothing. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we enter the room. After the last note fades, the place where echoes take off their shoes. Nothing to learn here, only to lean. In. 4. Out. 6. Picture a hallway of soft doors. Each door is a breath. On the inhale, the door opens a finger's width. On the exhale, it closes without a click. Walk nowhere. Let the hallway carry you. If thought appears, it is a moth. Quiet wings, harmless. If memory appears, it is a tide pool, self-contained, reflecting stars that don't ask for names. If feeling appears, it is a cup of warm water, simple, held sufficient. Breathe in cool, small. Hold feather. Breathe out warm longer. We'll touch 5 gentle stations and leave no footprints. Station 1. Dark silk. The air is fabric. You're threaded through it. Every rib is a looser stitch. Jaw unhooks, tongue low. Forehead smooth as moonglass. Station 2. Lantern under snowflakes that don't fall, only hover. The glow doesn't grow, it softens. Neck lengthens by imagination alone. Shoulders drift a thumb's width down. Station 3. Library of quiet machines, engines that hum below, hearing pulse shelving, liver sorting lungs, folding air into kindness. You read none of the books. You trust the librarians. Station 4. The pause between waves. A beach holds its breath. Your chest agrees. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nothing else. Station 5. The spiral's last loop. A chalk curve fades into the center it never reaches. You sit where the line would have gone. Arrival without motion. If you surface, the world will still be turned low. If you don't, the story will hold shape without you, because shape is what stories do when watched kindly. In. 4. Out. 6. We'll count down. 7. 1. Thinner than whisper each number, a lamp dimming 1 notch. 7. Brow lightless. 6 eyes resting in warm shade. 5 mouth unmade into a line. 4 shoulders, 2 stones in a slow river. 3 hands, heavy fruit in a quiet bowl. 2 feet, warm coals wrapped in ash. 1. The room decides to breathe for you. Stay or go. Both are rest. Somewhere above roofs and weather, the Milky Way is a pale seam. Somewhere below thought and name, you are the small kept ember. Between those somewheres, this the sound after sound. Breathe in cool, a ribbon. Hold feather, almost none. Breathe out warm, long level, the length of a shore. If a last image wants to be chosen, take this. A door slightly open to a garden at night. Nothing moves. Somehow everything is changing in the kindest possible way. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sleep takes the pen. The page agrees.